Hi, I'm Ed Cizeski. I'm the author of Reconnect, Spiritual Restoration from Digital Distraction from Herald Press. And I'm here to talk about why you shouldn't feel guilty about binging on social media. Now, that might be shocking for some folks for me to say that. And as a Christian, that might be especially shocking. And as a Christian, my first thought a lot of times is to think about a personal failure or a bad behavior as something that I should have a measure of guilt or personal responsibility about. If I failed, it's up to me to confess my failures to God, to ask God's forgiveness and God's help to live better in the future. Yet, while we should also seek to change our behavior with social media, we should seek change and improvement and to limit ourselves. We also have a lot working against us. And so it's to our benefit to change our social media behavior, but guilt and shame can also get in the way of making positive progress, especially because we might not see the whole picture. See, here's the thing. Overuse on social media is almost inevitable based on the design. We'll only limit ourselves if we know what we're up against and if we give ourselves situations where we can make it a fair fight. So one former social media engineer shared that there's literally like 1,000, literally like 1,000 engineers trying to make an app as addicting as possible. Another former Google employee noted that on a platform like YouTube, there's a supercomputer pointed at your brain that's running all these algorithms to try to figure out which video you're most likely to click on next, so that an hour will go by and you'll say, hey, where'd the time go? And so even like psychologists are working with social media companies to hack the human mind in order to make their apps and their, whatever their programs are as addicting as possible. So when it's supercomputers and engineers, 1,000 engineers working up against a social media user's willpower, it's not a fair fight. So we want to control our usage. We want to, have control of our smartphones and social media apps, despite all of these odds that are stacked against us. So that's why guilt and shame can be really disarming as kind of like our first step. So yes, like let's be responsible and let's make intentional plans moving forward, but let's not beat ourselves up for losing a really, really unfair fight. So here's what you can do to maybe place some boundaries around yourself to level the playing field a little bit when it comes to your own use of social media. First of all, avoid using social media at night when your willpower is going to be a lot less. Maybe also don't use social media first thing in the morning when you're really productive. You can also remove social media from any device like your phone or tablet that you carry around so you don't have a portable slot machine with you all the time. You can also use trackers like the Moment app or Stay Focused. So use these trackers to kind of get a sense of your usage. I think also most iPhones have a screen time app that you can use, or it's under settings. You can use your screen time settings to find out just how often you're on your phone and maybe set goals to limit your usage. Set specific times during the day for use or non-use. So maybe 2 to 4, that's when you use social media, and then you avoid it other times of the day. Find what's the most addicting for you. So maybe it's scrolling through Instagram, maybe it's scrolling through Facebook, maybe it's scrolling through Twitter. You can see a theme here. It's a lot of the scrolling is that slot machine function. So find out what is most addicting for you and then try to take steps to limit that. Post updates on social media via third-party apps, so you don't have to always go onto the app. If you want to share something, just use Buffer, use Later, use something else to share things so that you're not using the app as often. And then maybe you could even manage it through a third-party app so that you don't see the feed, but you can still interact with people who reply to your posts, or you can see some of your favorite accounts as well. So that's just a few ways to help you cut down your social media use without feeling the crush of guilt and shame for binging in the past. I'm Ed Cizeski. I'm the author of Reconnect, Spiritual Restoration from Digital Distraction from Herald Press. Thanks for watching.